Hello everyone and welcome back to English with Ansar. In this video, we are going to learn our new lesson, spelling and pronunciation. Before going to start my session, I would like to say something about this lesson. Why do we face a lot of challenges in spelling and pronunciation? There are some reasons. First reason is our 60% words of English language, they have silent letters in them. So silent letters are 60% in 60% English words, they have silent letters. First reason. Second reason, we have 26 letters in English language, but they can produce 44 different sounds. 26 letters can produce 44 different sounds. That is one more challenge for us. That is the reason we face a lot of challenges in spelling and pronunciation. Third reason, what is the third reason? English language is not a pure language. It is a mixture of different languages. So many words have been taken from different languages. Languages such as Greek, Latin, French, Italian, Indian, Japanese and other languages. So these three reasons are major reasons. Because of these three reasons, we face a lot of challenges in spelling and pronunciation. It does not mean that we do not have particular rules or certain rules. We have some set of certain rules which can, what I can say, help us in understanding and learning spelling and pronunciation. Let us learn our new lesson. What is our new lesson? Our new lesson is I before E except C, or when sounding like A. So this is our one, what I can say, spelling and pronunciation one lesson. So before going to start or explaining this rule, I would like to say something about, this lesson, related to this lesson. You might have received many certificates. You might have received certificates from your school, from your college and university. Or you might have received passport, PAN card, your Aadhaar card, many different documents and many parcels, so many parcels. While receiving these all parcels, you might have written or you might have used word received parcel, received document, received passport, received certificates. You might have faced some sort of problem while writing spelling of word receive, R-E-C-E-I or R-E-C-I-E. For a few seconds, you might have faced problem while writing word received, R-E-C-E-I, R-E-C-I-E. So after C, E-I will come or I-E will come and I-E will come. So in this video, in this lesson, you will learn rules of EI or IE, when to use EI or IE and where to use EI and IE. And definitely after learning this lesson, you will not face any problem in spelling. Definitely we will overcome the problems of spelling and pronunciation. Let us learn. So here, first one, what is the first one? I before E. Most of the cases, I would like to underline this one, I before E, I before E. First we will take this one, this part. So I before E, most of the words, they take I before E in them. So let us learn with the help of some examples. For example, if I write I before E rule 1, or first you will write 1. So in this, for example, I before E for word achieve, A-C-H-I-E-V-E, achieve. Word achieve, you can see that I is there and E is there. Okay, so we are just focusing on one part. Okay, we are just focusing here only. So achieve, word achieve is there. And if I write another word, if I see, for example, peace, P, what we have to write? P-I-E-C-E, peace. So you can notice here, we have word peace, and in them I and E. So I is, before E, I will be there. Okay. So I before E. This rule in such type of words, most of the words of English language, they take I before E. So one more example. For example, if I write believe, B-E-L, after L, I-E-V-E, believe. So you can notice here believe, and for example, one more word, brief, B-R-I-E-F, brief. You can notice here I-E, I-E. And if I write, for example, friend, F-R-I-E-N-D. So here also you can notice F-R-I, R-I. R after R, I-E, I-E. So I before E. Before E, which letter is here? I. Before E, which letter? I. Before E, in believe also you can notice here. Okay, so I is there. Now if I write some more, so for example, if I write, for example, hygiene, H-Y-G-I-E-N-E, hygiene. So you can notice here I-E is here. If I write, for example, grief, G-R-I-E-F, grief. So grief, I-E, you can see. So this pattern, so many words are there in English language which follow this pattern. Which pattern? I before E. So if I give few more examples, for example, if I write patience. Okay, so here if I write, here you can notice that patience, in patience also I and E, after T, I, E. So patience is there. And if I write, for example, one more example, if I give you priest, P-R-I-E-S-T, priest. So you can notice I and E. So I, E, many words are there in English language. They follow what this rule. What is the rule? I before E. Before E, which letter? I will be there. If I write, for example, thief, T-H-I-E-F. So you can notice here also, in thief also, you have this pattern. And if I write, for example, Pierce, P-I-E-R-C-E, Pierce. So these are few examples which I can say that. You can notice here I-E, 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 here also I-E, here also I-E, hygiene, I-E, and grief, I-E, patience, priest, thief. So you can notice that this is one rule of spelling. So you have to notice that, and you can notice that I is there in most of the cases, in most of the words, or many words of English language. In other words, we can say many words of English language, they take I before E. Okay, I before E, that is clear, already we have learned. Now except C. Except C, what is the meaning of except C? We are focusing on this part now, except C. So except C, we are focusing here. It means I will give you some examples. Except C, what is the meaning of except C? I will give you some examples. Suppose if I am writing ceiling, C, letter C, we are starting the word with letter C. After C, E will come first. After C, we have to write EI. After C, we have to write EI. So example is ceiling. Ceiling, word ceiling, you can notice that EI, except C means after C you have to write EI. So most of the cases in C letters, when the word has C, after C we have to write ENI. So ceiling, this is the second rule of first one. And the second, if I write, for example, if I give you one more example, perceive, P-E-R-C, after C what we have to write? This pattern follows, E-N-I-V-E, perceive. So this you can notice that after C we have E-N-I. E-N-I we have after C. E-N-I, E-I, not I-E, E-N-I, except C. Except C means we have to, so we have after C, E and I will be followed. These two letters, E and I will be there. So here, except C. Now second, next one. What is the next one? If I write, for example, one more example, if I write conceit. If I write conceit, C-O-N-C, after C, E-I, E-I. So conceit, you can notice that conceit. How to remember? Very simple trick we have. Very simple. You will never forget this trick. What is that? A, B, C, D. A, if I write A, B, C, D. After C, D is there. After D, after C, D and E. E is coming. So you can relate. You can link this idea. C, after C, E will come. After C, E will come first, not I. So here also after C, what we are doing? What are we doing? After C, E is taking. So A, B, C, D, E. Then if we continue A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H, I. So I is far. And which one is closer? Closest is E. So C से करीब कौन सा लेटर है? E है. तो हमें आसानी से ये लिंक कर सकते हैं, हम याद रख सकते हैं, ज़िंदगी तमाम हमें कोई परेशानी नहीं होगी इस तरह के वर्ड्स को स्पेलिंग में लिखने की. तो C के बाद क्या आएगा? E आएगा. तो यहाँ पे easily we can remember C, E. After that we have I. Later I we have. So you can easily understand that we can write like this: C, then E, then I. So ये आसानी से हम याद कर सकते हैं. C, E, I. C, E, I. Easily. C, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So I is here and E is here. तो C के बाद कौन सा लेटर आ रहा है? C के बाद E आ रहा है. C के बाद E लिख दी हमने और उसके बाद C, E, F, G, H, I बाद में आ रहा है. तो ये बन गया हमारा पैटर्न. हमें याद करने के लिए लिंक करना होगा easily. This is the best trick, easy trick for understanding our lesson perfectly. And many words you can learn very easily without making any mistake. So C के बाद E आएगा और I आएगा. So this is one trick. And if I write, for example, we will take more examples of that one. Receive, R, E, C, E, I, V, E, receive. Again E, I. You can notice here. If I write, for example, one more example, conceive, C-O-N-C-E-I-V-E. आसानी से आप उसे याद कर सकते हैं और कोई परेशानी नहीं होगी. सी के बाद ई आएगा, आपको कंफर्म है क्योंकि ए बी सी डी ई, सी के बाद ई आएगा, फिर उसके बाद आई आएगा. तो ये भी एक बेहतरीन ट्रिक है, आसान ट्रिक है आपको याद करने की. इफ़ आई राइट, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वन मोर एग्जाम्पल आई वुड लाइक टू गिव यू. डिसीव, इफ़ आई राइट डी ई सी, आफ्टर सी यहाँ पे देखिए आप ई एंड आई. डिसीव, we deceive. So, and if I write one more example, for example, deceit, D-E-C-E-I-T, deceit. You can notice here. Last one, for example, receipt, R-E-C-E-I-P and T. So please be careful when you are writing R-E-C-E-I-P-T. So pronunciation, P letter is silent. So letter P is silent here, but we have to write. So it will be receipt. Receipt, not, we should pronounce it receipt. R-E-C-E-I-P and T. So here, one word. What is the one word? The pronunciation is receipt. 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 P is silent letter here. So, but we are focusing here. C-E. Receipt. P साइलेंट लेटर. प्लीज़ बी केयरफुल. बहुत सारे लोग रिसिप्ट बोल के पी को भी प्रोनाउंस करते हैं, लेकिन इसका प्रोनाउंसिएशन, करेक्ट प्रोनाउंसिएशन, सही प्रोनाउंसिएशन यहाँ पे रिसीट है, पी साइलेंट लेटर है. सो दीज आर द फ्यू एग्जाम्पल्स विच आई हैव रिटन हियर फॉर आवर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. सो कंसीट, you can notice here EI. Here also you can notice EI. Conceive, EI. After C, EI. After C, EI. After C, EI. You can notice here. Ceiling, after C, EI. perceive after CEI, conceive, conceit after CEI, receive EI after CEI, deceive EI, deceit EI, receipt. So these are, few examples. If a word sounding like A, if a word which sounds like A, okay, the vowel sound, which if a word which sounds like A, in the middle we have vowel, and in that if a word which produces A sound, then we have to write EI. What is? We have to write E and I, not IE. So let us learn with the help of some examples here. So I have word beige, B-E-I-G-E, beige. So word beige, B-E-I-G-E, beige is there. You can notice here EI is there here, but it produces which sound? A sound. A sound like A. This sound like A sound, beige. Okay, A sound. Next one, if I write, for example, faint, F-E-I-N-T. So again you can notice EI is here, EI. So both EI, both the letters, they are producing A sound, both the letters, faint. If I write, for example, one more example, if I write freight, F-R-E-I-G-H-N-T. So freight here also, which one? E and I, they are producing A sound, A. Beige, A sound. Faint, A sound. Freight, A sound. In this case also we have to write E and I. Okay, E and I is here, E and I is there, and only I and E is here. So this is the first one, second one, and third one. So next one, if I write, for example, some more examples I would like to give. Neighbor, N-E-I-G-H-B-O-U-R, neighbor. So this is British English. So in British English we write U-R. U is also there, neighbor. And in American English we write N-E-I-G-H-B-O-R. Only B-O-R. So R, B-O-R here. This is British English, U-R. So we can write neighbor like this and like this also. What is our focus? Our focus is ne, A sound. So N-E-I, that also gives A sound. Which sound? A sound. So you can notice that A sound, neighbor is in this one. And if I write, for example, some more example, sleigh, S-L-E-I-G-H, sleigh. Here also you can notice A sound is there, sleigh, A sound. And if I write, for example, one more example, we can go for many examples. Vain, V-E-I-N. So here also you can notice E and I, they produce A sound. That is the reason it is what can we say? V-E-I-N, vain. Okay. So next one, if I write, for example, in way, I-N, in, V-E-I-G-H, in way is also, in word in way also you can notice that E and I is there, in way. So some more examples I can give you. If I write, for example, weight, W-E-I-G-H, way, in way also, word way, we have E and I. Why are we not writing I-N-E? Why are you not writing I-N-E? Because this word is producing A sound. In the middle, the vowels, both the E and I, they produce A sound. That is the reason we are writing E and I, not I-N-E. Okay, so when the word produces A sound, then we have to write E and I. Okay, not I-N-E. I-N-E we should not write here. And if I write, for example, one more example, if I write weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, weight, same thing, you can understand here, E and I. Why are we not writing I-N-E? Because the reason is, it is producing a sound. Whereas in I before E, the pronunciation, the sound is different. Sound is different in I and E words. Believe, okay, achieve, I E sound, achieve. So here different sound, but here A sound, because they are giving or producing A sound. That is the reason we have to write E and I. Nicknames and names of people. We can say nicknames and names of people. Names of people. Nicknames are names in which we can use what we can use. We can use what we have to use in the nickname and I and E. This is one more rule. So we can learn so many names are here. For example, Ali we have, and we have many names are there. Natalie, Ali. You can see that here we have Natalie, Ali. We have many names. We have with us Sophie, Sophie, Sophie. Nickname or names of person or people. If I write, for example, Charlie, Charli, Charlie, I can write many examples. Charlie. Mackenzie, you can notice here names. Last letters you can notice here IE. So in names, nicknames and names, you can use IE. Last two letters are IE. Many names are there. McNee, Kylie, 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 and so many words we have. So many names are there. For example, Gracie, Gracie, Gracie. You can notice here, and I can write many names. Gracie, Kylie, Annie, ANNI, and IE. So this pattern for the nicknames and names. This pattern. Which pattern? You can notice here I and E. IE. Which pattern? Nicknames and names of people. So here many names we have. For example, if I write very famous Julie, Julie, Julie. Okay, Julie. And if I write Katie, Katie, Katie. Annie, last two letters. Julie, last two letters INE. Katie, last two letters INE. Okay, this was number 4. Okay, so number 4, nicknames and names. So we have many examples. Ellen, Natalie, Sophie, Charlie, last two letters IE. Mackenzie, last two letters IE. Kylie, last two letters IE. Gracie, last two letters IE. So this pattern I and E will be followed. I and E will be followed with nicknames. I and E. So this pattern will be followed. Okay, this pattern, they follow these words or these names, not word, these names follow this pattern, I and E. Here we have one more what I can say rule. What is that one? Slang words or jargons, they also take which rule? They also follow I and E. They also follow I and E in them. So I and E, they also follow. So let us learn here with the help of some examples. What are the examples? I can give you many examples. For example, FRESH, freshy. So word freshy we can use slang words or jargons or street talk. Okay, so these slang words or jargons are very informal words. SELFIE, selfie. So selfie word also follow which pattern? I and E. You can notice I and E. Selfie will also take this pattern I and E. Selfie. This is very famous word nowadays in the world. Many youngsters, many people, almost everyone know about this word. And if I write, for example, more words, if I write junkie, JUNKIE, junkie. Okay, for junkie also we can use word, and foodie, Foodie. So these are the few examples which I have taken for you. Selfie, junkie, foodie, freshie, greenie, bicky, sparky, pookie, and selfie. These are the words. You can notice that everywhere I-N-E, they follow I-N-E. So these are the jargons or slang words. They are very informal. They are very informal words in which we use I-N-E, last two letters. So this one, I hope you have understood this lesson so far. Last one, we have exceptions. Everywhere exceptions are there. So in exceptions, few words we have exceptions. How can we learn? We have to practice and memorize them directly in order to avoid mistakes, in order to overcome problems, or in order to get mastery over the language. What we need to do? We need to write exception words many times, learn them and memorize them. That is the very what I can say straightforward idea, and we can say there is no shortcut, there is no what I can say shortcut for us. So what we have to do, we have to practice those words, exceptions. So in exceptions we can place some words or handful of words we can place in exception, easy for us to learn it. Exceptions. So these exceptions, they do not follow these rules. These words in exception, they do not follow these rules. Okay, these rules 1, 2, 3, these rules they do not follow. So these words are for example CAFFEINE, caffeine. So in that you can notice that E and I. You can notice E and I is here, but you can see that before E and I is there C, letter C. Is there E and I, letter C? No. So that is the reason these few exceptions are there where in which they do not follow any rules. These rules, they do not follow any rules. They do not follow these rules. So E and I, before E and I, C is there? No. So here I can give you many examples. For example, counterfeit. One more example. So in that you can notice here E and I, counterfeit. big E and I है इसमें counterfeit में E and I है, लेकिन यहाँ पर C नहीं है. तो ये some exceptions है, और exceptions हम लिखते हैं यहाँ पे ताकि हमें अच्छी तरीके से ये रूल्स को फॉलो कर सकें. forfeit. So here also you can notice E and I, but we are missing, we don't have C here. F is there, not C, even though we have E and I. So exceptions. So exceptions we can learn only by practicing or by memorizing them. Next one, if I write one more example, codeine and leisure, L-E-I-S-U-R-E, leisure. I can write protein, P-R-O. If I write P-R-O-T-E-I-N, protein, and I can give you some more examples. 7. What is 7? Some more examples I can give you. Weird, W-E-I-R-D, weird, and I can give you some more examples. Seize, S-E-I-Z-E, seize. So these are the few examples where you can see that E-I is there in all letters. E-I is there, E-I, 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 E-I. Okay, but before E-I, in weird, before E-I, we don't have C. So these are the few exceptions. So we have to learn these words by practicing and by memorizing them. I hope you have understood this lesson. Thank you very much for watching my video. Enjoy learning.